Hi everyone, this is Dr. D at Thrive Head and Spinal Care. You know, over the last 30 odd years, I've frequently been asked why I do what I do and why I'm so passionate about it, especially after all of these years. And so I thought I'd take this opportunity to just share with you my personal story and again, how it led me down this path to really be passionate about this type of work. So you see, when I grew up in North Idaho, up in a little town nestled in the mountains, and it really was a great place to grow up. And when I was in high school, my friends and I had motorcycles, and we used to ride them up into the mountains on the old logging roads, and we had a blast. We'd be up there exploring the mountains, and it just was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it a lot. But one of those Saturdays, we were coming off the mountain, and I was leading the pack, and I came around a corner and there was this steel cable that was stretched across the road to keep cars out. We used to call them choker cables because they used to wrap these steel cables around the logs that they had sawed down. There was a lot of logging going on back then, and they would use them to pull them up the mountain to get them up to the logging trucks. And I did not have enough time to react. I came around the corner, it was just there. It hit my motorcycle, it shattered the headlight, it popped off the headlight, it scraped up the handlebars, and then it popped up off of the handlebar and hit me right in the throat. And obviously all of this happened in a flash of time. And really the next thing that I really remember after that was being in the emergency room at the local hospital. And while I was there, I had some great emergency medical care. And I ended up wearing one of those solid neck braces for about 6 weeks. And when everything was said and done, they took x-rays again afterwards, and the x-rays looked normal, and yet the problem was that I had chronic neck pain and headaches after that. My neck was frequently stiff, and pretty much every single day I had a headache. And some days not too bad, headache yes, but not too bad, and other days the headache was really severe. And I talked to my doctor at the time about that, and I was told it's just a residual of the accident and you're just going to have to learn to live with it. And I suspect some of you watching this video have been told the same thing for different reasons, but you have issues and you're told it's just, maybe it's part of getting older or whatever, and you're just going to have to learn to live with it. And I didn't know any different, so I did that. For the next 3.5 years, I basically every day had a headache, and many days had neck stiffness, neck discomfort, and sometimes neck pain. I graduated from high school, and after high school I joined the Navy, and I ultimately ended up on the USS Enterprise, the aircraft carrier. And one time when I went down to sick call because of these headaches to get some pain medication, this young progressive medical doctor sat down and took the time to really listen to what was going on and what my history was. And he asked me at that time, he said, have you ever seen a chiropractor for this? And I said, no. And he explained to me that an accident like that, even though the post x-ray now looks normal, it doesn't tell you how your neck functions, how it moves, and if it's not working right, how that can irritate the nerves. And he strongly suggested I go see a chiropractor. And so I ultimately went to, I remember his name, it was Dr. Fred Cody in Bremerton, Washington. And I'd never gone before. No one in my family had ever gone to a chiropractor, so it was a whole new experience. But after a few weeks of care, what I started noticing is that my headaches were getting farther and fewer between. And then I remember very distinctly driving home one night from an appointment, and it just kind of dawned on me that I hadn't had headaches for a couple of weeks. And it was at that moment that I made a decision that when I got out of the Navy, I was going to go back to college, and I was going to go to chiropractic school. And I was going to learn how to do for other people what was done for me. And that's why I chose to go to chiropractic school. And I wanted to be able to help other people who were told that they maybe just had to live with it, and it was just a residual of getting older or an old injury or whatever. And I just wanted to help them. And that's why I do what I do. And that's why 30 odd years later, I'm still passionate about doing this type of work. So I appreciate the opportunity to share my story with you, and I'll see you on the next video.